Alright, right back into another fight with an Ekimura. Are you standard fight? Yep. Abandoned campsites. You can tell that it's a generic kind of filler fight when it's even called abandoned location. I was going through, like, in particular, I think some of the names of the videos I've done or whatever. Abandoned blah is like the most common thing that they call anything that's like a filler standard fight, basically. Meve cursed when her scouts reported they'd encountered a Nilfgaardian camp. Just what we need, she thought. Though the campfire still burned and horses nibbled the grass, the tents were completely empty. The queen knew Isgith well enough to recognize a bad omen. Let's kill some vampires. So standard battle. Yeah. Maybe. These two can combo, kind of. Do I want to commit to Hajduke on the first turn, though? I could save the Hajduke and these guys for a later turn, which means I could summon this turn. Or I could use these guys together this turn and then summon next turn. The only thing is the enemy tends to pass as soon as it seems too dangerous. So I'm afraid to commit to drummers because they're less likely to actually get the chance to drum. Always start with ale. And killing this guy. Let's get a second row of fire. And spike trap. That always scares them.
This could hurt.
I'm kind of trying to push them to quit as soon as possible in round one. The faster they quit, the more I can fully commit any remaining cards to winning round two. Oh, I've got more. I can make it worse. Consumed by the fire they are. Do I want to use you yet? Or try to save you? I don't know, we're gonna run out of actions pretty quickly if I try to commit. $15 damage seems a little low. Oh, two of these guys, huh? Sure. Adam, double your score. Are you going to give up? Not. Ooh. Ooh, self win it by one every time the enemy takes damage. Okay, that catches him up a bit. What a good time to spend this card. Get rid of 20 right there. Damn. Thankfully, he doesn't have any kind of weather or hazard effect, or he getting boosted constantly. The shotgun effect is so mixed in its usefulness. Spawning a bunch of units is good if you're going to have some sort of AoE buff happen, but if there's an AoE damage effect happening, like this fire that applies to everybody, they're kind of in trouble. Still, he hasn't given up yet. Which means I should not be quitting yet.
Blood washes away all shame.
Are you sticking this out? Yeah, he is. Oh. Alright, yeah, he's keeping pace. We're not done here. 16. If I get you below 16, then you're in the range where you're considered red. So I need to do 6 damage to you. Well, there's currently 7 enemies, so this is reasonable. There we go. There we go. I bet that makes him pass. Ooh. There, yep. Yep. That's how you get him to pass. Alright. Yep. Don't fall for the bait of clicking. I'm like, oh, let's attack. I learned my lesson early in this playthrough of not making the mistake of doing an action just for the sake of it, because it means you have to play a turn. So I got these guys. He can make them go again, which is great. A spy, I guess. That's an embarrassing card. Get out of my hand. You're supposed to be at the beginning of the game only. Ooh, a chance to replay reinforcements. That's overpowered. Grey Rider's great. I'll play him first. Spies, kinda eh. Could be powerful. They play a lot of vampires. Not a very long round though. I'd rather have Odo. Sure. Oh, wow. Wow, they want me to have a drummer. Okay. Ooh, don't pass. Ooh. Ignore that. So we start with this guy. Do I want reinforcements or do I want Mahakam Ale? That's +4 every turn. I'm going to be drawing a lot of cards, which means we're going to have some trouble keeping the board with space. Ale's pretty good.
Something from nothing. It's exactly what I do.
I should have placed it up here. Why did I do that? Actually, let's put this here. There we go. Now it's 2 and 2, which makes some sense. If I could draw anything. The second one's pretty good. And Xavier. There we go. And because it's order, I can save it for later. When it'll be more effective. Gotta get some units on the top row so they actually do stuff. Mahakam Ale's wasted somewhat if it only buffs someone on the bottom row. Oh, give the dog some beer. He's dying here. You're breaking my heart. Ooh. Destroy the one with the highest power. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna have to ask you to go up to the other row. Thank you. Haha. Alright. So destroy... Yeah, destroy the one with the highest power. So this character is currently the one with the highest power.
Quick and painful this'll be.
So many bonuses. Another drummer.
Left, right, left, right.
Okay, still weaker than the slinger. Good.
Catch!
Hey there. How do you feel about fire?
Again.
No, not the slinger. How will I recoup the loss? God, Gascon. Excessive. Okay. Except he's gonna die, unfortunately. Ah, Gabor.
For you, pal. Anything.
Please delete that guy. Before it kills one of my guys. Because mine are worth more. That was gonna kill Gascon. Which is very bad. And now we're totally very okay and it doesn't matter. God, he keeps getting +2 every time. So every time I place a unit, they get +6 from the Grey Rider, and then Gascon gets +2. And every turn, 2 random guys get +4. So this number just inflates turn by turn, terrifyingly.
Think about slings. They hide well.
I don't want to use his yet because he's about to get a big bonus. Can't wait.
Life had me flowed, now here I'm marching proud.
We're running out of space now for these cards to go to. No, you're the lame one. You're such a loser. Oh. We have space on the board, so yep, there it goes. 38. Oh my god. All right. Stack that damage up. My god. 289. They're alive, but just barely. My fear is that with this current setup, even if I tried to use that one dwarf to damage them, like that, make that guy that's like 30 plus go down to 7, that would be somewhat nullified by the fact that all these units get buffed as they get played, so the dwarf is less effective at damaging enemies. He's good at lifting up allies, but only if they've been specifically damaged, I guess. Which happens. From Colin Fierce Ligwer to Corporal Dwylin Fielner, Queen Meve has wormed her way through the trap and is now headed for Red Lobinden. You must cut off her escape route at all costs. Should you fail, every third soldier in your unit shall be lashed and sentenced to a month of solitary confinement. Jesus Christ. God, your society sucks. A month of solitary. That's reoccurring, isn't it? At least the people writing this are aware of the fact that solitary is a form of torture, basically, that has a toll on the person on a deeper level. But no, that's not this. I don't think I have a previous example of Nilfgaard doing solitary. What I'm thinking of is the these assholes. Yeah, this guy. He would put his people in solitary. And I did something about that. There has to be an event here because it's an open area with nothing on it. Oh no. Heart of the Swamps. Oh no.
The Lyrian force had reached the very heart of Isgith. From every branch, vine and shrub hung leeches and ticks by the dozen. Swollen with blood, their abdomens glistened, glowing red in the misty air. Air so putrid it set Meve's head to spinning. She paused at a moss-covered boulder, pressed her flushed forehead against its cool surface. Her soldiers passed by, pallid, filthy, drained. She wished to say something, lift their spirits. But instead a cough rattled her breast. Suddenly, splashes all around Meve in the water, as if a rain of fist-sized drops had begun to fall. The Queen lifted her heavy gaze. Seemingly on command, ticks and leeches dropped into the warm, soupy waters, then clumsily wriggled off toward a dead alder grove. Meve knew at once what skulked behind the trees. Gurnikora, Isgith's mistress. Isgith's queen.
Weapons at the ready!
The queen roared.
Close ranks!
The Lyrians quickly converged, formed a wall of shields, and crouched behind them. Terrified, they stared as a multitude of eyes flashed open midst the branches, while revolting, muck-covered beasts rose from the gurgling waters around. Meve silently uttered a prayer. Hail Melitele, great mother, maiden, and crone, ever have us in your care.
Hey, Witcher, can you come back here? The bloody mistress. Meve fought the compulsion to avert her eyes from the muck-covered horrors surrounding her unit. The very sight of them made her nauseous, her chest tightening, holding back a scream. In the end, with great difficulty, she raised her sword. The queen only hoped her men would not notice the trembling in her hands. Eliminate Grinacora. 110. The boss fights definitely crop up with numbers that show the game probably is self-aware of the power creep on some level. Every 2 turns on turn end, move every ally to this row and transform self into Grinacora Mother. Okay. It's immune and can't be attacked directly. That's a hell of a visual. Grinacora's fruit, relict. What's a relict? Oh, it's probably just a unit type, like insectoid. Yeah. If on the ranged row, drain Grinacora by 3, which boosts them. Yeah. When this unit's power reaches 10, explode and damage all enemies by 3. Shit. Grinacora Mother. Every 2 turns and turn start, move all allies to the other row and transform self into Grinacora. Okay. So Grinacora is going to have a bunch of these guys, and they're all going to go into the top row. And they're going to drain Grinacora by 3. Huh. So I want them all to collectively drain her as much as possible. Every 2 turns, so it'll drain her twice. Meaning they're all going to gain 6. So I want to damage them so that they don't get reach 10. Or they'll explode on me. But I want them to stay alive so they can keep draining her, because that's the only way I'm going to damage her besides indirect random effects, basically. Huh. I wonder if it makes sense to put fire in the back row. That's where they're healing anyway. So damage them by 3 periodically. I mean, they're draining by 3 on 2 consecutive turns, so damaging them would be one way of counteracting that a little bit. Huh. Her 2 different stances don't seem to have any significance. It's just that they go back and forth, and that's it. That's all I need to know. Frescoes on the tomb walls depicted Angren swamps and beasts that prowled them. 2 words were described over the largest of the horrors. Gavan Eker, the bloody mistress. Is he gonna have a hand, or what? Oh, hey. Every 2 turns before turn start, spawn a Grinacora fruit on the melee row. Whenever a Grinacora fruit is destroyed, Meve discards a random card from her hand. Yeah, so extra reason not to attack them. I need to avoid killing them. Every time one of them's killed, I discard a card, which means the game as a whole becomes shorter because I'll be running out of cards. Huh. Shit. So one thing is that when she stops being mother, I could use a slinger. You could potentially use a slinger to knock them back into the top row, which would cause her to take more damage for those 2 turns she normally doesn't. The problem is that if they reach 10, they explode. So if they're there for too many turns, they're gonna be constantly in that state. I guess all the more reason to maybe make sure that I have fire in that row, just to make sure that that doesn't happen. I might put spikes in the bottom row because I want to curb how much they're gaining power, but I don't want them to die. But if they just fed, then they'll at least have the 3 to survive the pitfall trap. Trying to plan here. Northern wind. No. I don't need the ability, because my goal here is to defeat Granacora, not win the fight, right? I think because it's a story battle, my goal is to win by defeating the actual unit. It doesn't say optional. So I need to defeat the character itself. Is buffing my guys even worth it? It could offset the damage of everyone taking 3 damage. That might be worth it. Same thing for the horn, but I have to be careful not to kill the fruit. You're not going to be very useful, I don't think. I do want the fire, though. You can make this guy do more actions. So can you. Trinkets are kind of a gamble. Double fire? Maybe. Doing continual damage to the bottom row is bad, though. I can't control it. This would be great if I could attack Granacora, but I can't. Get out of my hand. Oh, Gascon, I guess. He'll just hang out and gain power. Oh no.
Everyone, rally to me.
You're gonna fuck me, Manticore Trophy. Oh no. Oh no. It's just gonna kill them every single turn. Awkward. That just completely undoes the entire fight. So it can't be the trophy. Strengthening my own characters makes some sense. Let's get rid of these guys, because them shooting randomly will be a problem. Yeah, we know. I don't think I can skip this, can I? There we go. Alright, try this again. Yeah, that trophy completely breaks the fight. Or at least it dooms me to lose. Because you can only win by defeating them, I believe. You're not gonna work for me. Actually, I might have wanted to keep that. Because you can't target Granacora. But she could kill Granacora via the sheer amount of damage that's happened to me so far, via all of those, everyone taking 3 damage moments, I guess. Maybe. I don't think Strays of Swallow are useful to me. These guys could buff everyone so that they can resist the damage coming in. No, not knickers in my hand.
Rally to me!
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on our blood!
This is gonna be the weirdest fight, isn't it? Yep, there it goes. So they're gonna be there for 2 turns, then come back down. I think this time I basically want to let it happen. She probably can't be counteracting it a little bit. Let's just start with these guys.
Yes. I live to serve you.
All right, they're all down here.
How quickly the scales tip.
Ah. So I can't use a spike trap. I can't use a spike trap because the newly spawning characters will die. I want to try the fire idea. I can always just try again otherwise. I just need to curb the amount of damage they're taking. There he is. I'm like, I could not see him.
That is the white of an eye from half a league away.
Fear not. We shall achieve our goal.
That'll work a little bit for now. We'll see how this goes. This will be weird. I shouldn't have put them in the same row because they would have gotten the bonus. Whoops. Wow, they're down to 1. Did they not drain him?
Left, right, left, right.
What is happening here? Why aren't they draining?
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Wait, did you just... Was that quote from Darkest Dungeon? Hang on, I have to interrupt this to look this up. These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome. The only, if I put that in quotes, the only reference is this individual encounter. just sworn there was a quote from these nightmares creatures can be felled, they can be beaten. I think that's the quote from Darkest Dungeon. Okay. So it's almost a quote from Darkest Dungeon. So I think that something's wrong here in that... I think that she was not getting weaker. It says drain Grinacora by 3. It doesn't say it has to be Grinacora Mother. But I think it does have to be Grinacora Mother, because it wasn't draining them. It was only draining them when they got back. When she changed back. So changing what row they're in seems to have no effect on anything, basically. If anything, I could use this guy to knock them out of the top row when they're about to hit 10, when it's too high, I guess. That's about it. I'm probably going to lose because some of them died due to the game not doing what it said it would do, mechanics-wise. Do I want more fire in the bottom row? That could be a very bad idea. Oh god, that drew all the fire. I don't know, it might put it in autopilot mode or it might just be too devastating. So they currently will most likely take 4 damage, which is almost as much as they did get from the gains in total, which is 6. So if they take 4 damage top and bottom, they'll be taking more damage than they heal. I think I have to manage this manually. But the Warhorn is the great way to slightly reduce their power, and they took it from me. As a result of the dead ones. This attempt's probably shot by the fact that I lost dudes.
The chase is on!
Shh. What? What? Okay. Yep. It's one of those fights where there's just a bunch of secrets you can't know going in until you play it and you're like, oh, that's what's happening. Yeah, Grinacora Mother's not immune. Which you can't know. You just have to you just have to see it happen. Because this one doesn't say it's immune either. The immune characteristic just shows up. It's not in the description. But Grinacora Mother is not immune, while Grinacora is immune. Also, these will only drain this Grinacora, not the other one, even though it doesn't say that either. So there's a lot of trial and error here, unfortunately. Alright.
Remember that unwarranted arrogance kills, slowly and insidiously.
Okay, you are just doing parodies of Darkest Dungeon now. That's weird.
Bigger they are, easier they
This is my last turn. Yeah. And they're back to being immune. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious death. The slow and insidious killer. Okay, so we know a bunch of new things. Like, hey, I can attack her directly when she's being fed upon. Which means characters like this can target her. And characters like you can attack her for 15. I think fire makes a lot of sense in the top row. 2 fire doesn't make sense. I think I'm going to focus entirely on careful attacks. The Warhorn lets me regulate the power of all the enemies. And you can let me do it again, while also the fire is hopefully holding them off from going too strong. You can let him summon more units. Maybe. Oh.
Rally to me!
This could hurt.
So what I should have wanted is should have kept drawing just an attempt to get the. Well, I can do it now. What I'm gonna want is the pirate. Where is he? There he is. Because he can attack her when she's in mother mode by the number of that everyone else has, which is good. I'm actually not sure what else I'd want. Huh. I guess maybe just another one of these guys, right? Do I even have Arbalists in my deck anymore? Did I get rid of all of them? If only I could attack. But you're not in mother mode, so that's not gonna work.
Wanna know why I got a scar?
Again and again and again.
So I can start playing these guys when she's in mother mode, because then they can target her and stay targeted on her. You can attack her on mother mode for 15. And you can help that guy attack more. That's something. This is totally more of a puzzle encounter.
Majesty! These parasites! They feed on our blood!
Please feed. Okay, that's what I was worried about. I want them. I definitely want them to feed before the fire happened. I was worried it might go out of order. Okay. The first you.
You sure about that?
There we go. Is it worth it for the 5? I hope so. She will eventually draw more. Yeah, next wave she'll have more fruit. So it'll be somewhat better to do it then. Including Xavier here. Nah.
Watch your heads!
I want this guy, but I want better targets to attack. So I want to attack her, but I don't want to attack these guys necessarily. Unless they get too strong, so I'll have to wait. Do it if they're about to hit 10. Like this guy who dodged the fire. And now he needs to be stopped. Except they won't do it yet. I don't need to attack it yet. But it is going to come down here, and then when it goes back up, it'll go from 7 to 10. Like, the damage has to happen at some point. But it might take the damage from the fire, so maybe I can just wait for a moment. Let's get these guys latched on. Like additional leeches, basically. I should have played this guy, I kind of forgot. But I have more mandatory moves kind of going on right now. So yeah, the fire did happen. The fire did happen already, so it was good to not do it yet. So now he's an immune, so I can't do anything that attacks. Graveyard currently features 0 things. This is a time to play a Xavier. And the drummer.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Because for now I can't attack. Now we're just waiting.
Fear not. We shall achieve our goal.
You're also in order, so I can just put you off until whenever.
I'd hoped we could solve this some other way.
We haven't taken damage yet, but if one of them dies, then we all take a bunch of damage, and I could use that against Granacora eventually, if I'm lucky. I forgot to attack. No. Damn it, no. I'm just so not used to having a cooldown is the problem. Right, he can attack every turn. I was afraid of wasting it because it's obviously better to have it when there's more units on the board. But no, I should have done that every turn because he can attack every turn. Whoops. Big whoops. Alright. Well, I'll definitely do it now. It'll be for 7 damage each time.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
So it's 7 damage. Boop. Do it 2 more times. Yay. We're in a good spot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 3 each. So they'll kill her next turn. And yeah, it'll blow up if it reaches 10, but who cares? I should just let it happen. As opposed to risk anything else. I can latch another one to you on, I guess. Because I'm also attacking her twice per turn, too. Okay, the fire stopped them from reaching 10 anyway. Yes.
I believe it's dead.
Got it. Would have been better if I did the pirate right, but that was a good strategy for that fight. We got it.
Of the battle in Isgith, Meve remembered very little. It seemed a nightmare, its details a haze, the sensations very real. Midst a thick fog, she fought in a frenzy, desperately hacking at the scourge that advanced from all sides. In the end, silence fell over the swamp. Its boiling waters lay calmed. The ticks and leeches were gone, while Gernacora lay among rotting leaves, covered in blood, unmoving. But still a fearsome sight.
Burn the corpse,
Rasped the queen.
and we move on.
The soldier's eyes darted about in a series of silent glances. It took Meve a moment to realize the difficulty. They still feared it. Though the monster's lifeless body lay on the ground, they dared not go near. Were she to repeat the order, they would carry it out. Yet she did not wish to force that on them. Swallowing her own revulsion, she walked up to Gernacora's corpse and set it alight. The air soon filled with the suffocating stench of burning hair and flesh. Sparks belched out as melting fat fell on flame. Until finally, nothing was left of the bloody mistress but scorched bone. The Lyrians resumed their march towards the banks of the Yaruga. They forced their weary legs to maintain a swift pace and stole no second glance at what they'd left behind.
It's like the teaser image for The Strain. That was always really uncomfortable. The vampire worm weren't going directly into somebody's eye. That's just uncomfortable. Granacora trophy. I don't want it. I get it's a nice little moment for Meve to specifically do that and spare her people the trouble and everything and the heartache, but I can't get over the fact that, like, canonically we have fire bombers. They throw fire bombs. Like, they can do it. I believe in them. Alright, what does this new card do? Oh, it makes the sounds. Permanent resilience. Deploy. Seize a bronze enemy unit. After 6 turns, on turn start, return to hand. Huh. Damn it, think something fell in me eye. Yeah. Deploy seizes a bronze enemy unit, but normally there doesn't doesn't this item start on the board? So it's only going to deploy one. Am I missing something here? I don't know. A lot of items are just wrong about what they do, so who knows. But it sounds like the only thing this does is after 6 rounds, it'll go to my hand, and then I play it, and then it'll seize a unit. Because it's a trophy, doesn't it start the board? Doesn't it start out on the board? Whenever an enemy... Like, this doesn't mention being played. But I know that trophies start the game on the board and stay resilient. So its deploy effect won't happen unless they happen to already have a unit when the game starts, I guess. And then I get to seize 1 bronze unit 6 turns into the fight, basically. Which is... I don't know, this seems like a garbage trophy, which is weird because I love all the trophies. The trophies are always great. But this one just seems completely unuseful unless it's just massively unclear about how it's supposed to be used. Huh. Because just 1 seize isn't that good. I don't know. Overall, that boss fight was really neat, mechanically. It just suffers from what many encounters suffer from in this game, which is that all of the text on the cards just isn't clear. The game just doesn't adequately explain what the scenario is, and you largely have to figure out what it is by trial and error, and then start over, and then do it right the second time. A lot of mechanics just don't say what they do. A lot of them are... There's some mechanics that aren't stated at all, and other mechanics that contradict the card text. And that's just an unfortunate common flaw this game has. But it's a cool fight.